Well, welcome to Game Set Mash. You know JB, you know Chris, but distilling out of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, hailing from Margaret River, the man who went wine to whiskey, Mr. Greg Keeley, is joining us today.
Like that. I like that wine to whiskey thing. Maybe I'll start using that here.
That's one of the questions we got for you is how you went wine to whiskey, liquor to liquor. So that's going to be brought up here at some point. But first of all, we're drinking bottled and bond that you guys were kind enough to send us today. So we're all having to pour your bottled and bond. And as you can see, we've tried a bunch of your stuff. This is the one I've not had yet. I think it might be the only one I haven't tried.
I got a bottle of the bottled and bond like months ago, and it went by quick. It was too good.
There we go. There she is. I knew you were going to talk about bottled and bond today, so I thought I'd better grab one.
Yeah,
there you go.
Gracie, who we were talking to, sent this over, sent it out to them so we could all have the same thing to start. And then obviously, I'm probably going to venture onto these because it's been a long day anyway. The drive you had today makes it a long day for you. But thank you for sending this and joining us today. We really do appreciate it.
No sweat at all. Been looking forward to it.
And I want to say thank you for the bottles that y'all have sent me as well. We have the American Light Whiskey y'all sent out. And y'all sent out a sample of the cigar blend or the cigar batch. And I loved it so much I had to go buy a bottle as well. So thank you for that.
Same. I did the same thing, and Chris and I were back-to-back orders. I think we were like 78 and 79. So it was awesome. But yeah, you guys sent me stuff a while ago. I got the 8-year single barrel and 8-year bottle and bond, and they went by quick.
That American Light you sent them, I ordered that after they tried it, and everyone raved reviewed. The only thing I was bummed is I couldn't order the Fat Wombat ginger beer, so I had to try and make the mule with a lesser quality ginger beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's with a ginger beer probably with no alcohol in it.
Yeah, it's not the same as what you guys had there.
No.
You guys made it super
the Fat
boozy.
Wombat
It
ginger
was
beer
hot.
is fantastic.
Oh yeah, that ginger beer was. I drank a little bit out of just the can too, and I'm like, man, I could just sit there and sip on that as is.
100%.
I know it's the thing is it's all natural, right? So it's got just a shit ton of sugar in it. But it's real sugar, real cane sugar, and it's that's what I think, and real ginger, and it's only got like 4 ingredients. So we just launched in New York City, and it's just taken off up there like crazy pants.
Actually, a little birdie told me I got a message today. Grumpy Ron, that you know, he messaged me today. He's like, "Hey, I just talked to Greg. He said they finally launched in New York." I'm like, "Great! They could drop down one state to Pennsylvania, and
then another one to me would be great too. Like 2 steps down would be awesome."
I think I'm going to have to contract my wife to get a bottle while she's in New York City next weekend.
Yeah, our New York distributor is also going to do Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm so close, Maryland. So close.
You're there.
Oh,
I'm
Maryland! Don't even talk to me about Maryland.
Are they hard for you?
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
Oh, damn.
Actually, I don't know if it's necessarily the state. It's just finding distributors in Maryland and DC.
I can help you with that. I know a couple of the distributors around here, so I can help you with that for sure.
Speaking of distributors,
JB, that'd be great.
You said Minnesota, Minneapolis. What were you saying about the largest distributor?
Yeah, so I saw a video a couple months back, and it was a couple store owners and yourself saying that Minnesota is the number 1 state for distribution, and we wanted to know how that happened.
No, our number 1 state is Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. The Wisconsin thing, we have a lot of visitors come into the distillery here at Larrikin, and an extraordinary amount of them were from Wisconsin. Like it's our second, it's probably our second most visited out of state. And so I'm thinking, well, there's got to be a reason behind that. So we just did a bit of research. And when I say that, I went up for a weekend and had a poke around, and that was literally my research.
It's research.
And yeah, exactly. And then we talked to a few distributors up there, and we found somebody that we could work really well with called AVA Distribution in Wisconsin. They've been fantastic. Previously they were just a total wine distributor, and now they have brought on a couple of spirits, and us being one of them. And we just went and worked the market really, really hard. I was up there nearly a week every month for 6-7 months. And I think part of it too is, you go into a place like Wisconsin and they all drink this nasty brandy, which I just don't understand. And actually, I'll tell you a story about that in a second. But there just wasn't a whole lot of craft bourbon up there. There was all the big brands and all that sort of stuff. And there was some craft bourbons, certainly. But I don't think anyone, I think the big brands in some respects lost that personal touch where you've got to be in with the mom and pop shops and
they
all that sort
of
stuff.
Yeah,
and Wisconsin is primarily mom and pop shops. So that's where they move premium whiskey. So we just went up there. The folks are just awesome. And we just started in Milwaukee. Then we went to Madison and then we headed up north up into the Green Bay sort of area and all parts in between. And they've just embraced it. And the other thing is Wisconsinites love drinking. So
they got to stay warm up there.
There's that.
Yeah. And whiskey keeps you warm.
I was in a store, what are they called? Piggly Wiggly in, I can't think. I'll think of it in a second. But it's their big big grocery / liquor stores up there. And it was Monday, or maybe it was Tuesday at 8:00. I went in to meet the liquor store buyer or the liquor buyer. And there was lines of people in the liquor store section with carts full of booze. And it was 8:00 on Tuesday morning. And I'm like, is it always like this? And he goes, oh, no, Tuesdays are really slow. I'm like,
that was the slow day?
It's crazy. And there was literally people with whole shopping carts with, 30 packs of beer and brandy and just all sorts of shit. So we love Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious why Wisconsin is so traveled to Kentucky as opposed to other states. And it's something I probably never know the answer to, but I'd be curious.
Because you only have Milwaukee.
They
got nothing else.
Yeah. Milwaukee, I love Milwaukee. I think Wisconsin's, if it wasn't so bloody cold, I could live in Wisconsin.
That's too cold.
Yeah, fair.
It's just drink to stay warm up there.
So, as you know, we're a sports podcast. I want to ask this. So I know you mentioned on our podcast, you like to hunt. You're a hunter. If I'm wrong, tell me. But outside of hunting, what do you follow? Do you follow sports-wise, anything like that? I know you turned down surfing and didn't follow your brother's trend, but I know that you hunt. So what else are you into?
So, I haven't, this is no bullshit. I haven't hunted the last 3 seasons because I've just been doing this.
Because of Larrikin.
Yep. I live on a 120-acre farm and there's more. I could hit a deer with a fork if I threw it at one. So I just haven't even gone out and hunted yet. So it's just crazy. I haven't fired a gun since I've lived here.
Really?
Wow.
What'd you used to hunt before you started Larrikin? What were you like? What was the game that you preferred? What would you
deer
hunt?
Primarily. Deer. When we'd go up into Wyoming, we would go after antelope and some of the bigger game like that. I'd never been much into bears or ducks or any of that sort of stuff. Bears are too cute, and ducks are just boring and cold.
Yeah, and deer is delicious.
Deer is good. So
the bears are cute.
Chili.
Funny story. Bear, when you hang it from a basketball pole to skin it, it looks oddly like a human. My uncle did that. We were in Southern California. He caught a bear and he hung it from a basketball pole to strip it. And the neighbors called the cops because it looked like a body hanging upside down. And they rolled up onto the driveway. And we're like, once they pull up, he held up kind of the fur and everything. But and when you step back on the street, it's like, that looks like you're hanging a person from a basketball pole. That does not look good.
That's awesome.
That was a great experience. But I mean, the neighbors were freaked out. Also,
how to scare your neighbors 101.
Yeah, skin a bear from your basketball pole out front.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, but other than that, and when I was growing up, I surfed. I wasn't very good at it. I played Australian rules football, played cricket, and I still follow very closely Australian football and cricket, which is helpful with. Here in Kentucky, there's a lot of folks that are of Indian origin, as in the country, come from India, migrants, and they run a lot of the liquor stores here, own a lot of the liquor stores. And I think I'm the only person in the state of Kentucky that can go in and talk cricket to the
have a conversation
liquor store owners here. Yeah. Oh, it's great. But they look at you when you come in and they're like, oh, no, another, sales rep. And then you go, hey, did you watch the test match yesterday? And they're like, oh, you like cricket? I'm like, yep.
Like, come on in.
Come on. Oh, yeah. And you just sit there bullshitting about cricket all afternoon. It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Has that actually helped any sales by chance, or?
Oh, I'm sure it has. Well, it's got us in places that we probably wouldn't have otherwise been in. So it gets us in the door, and they're great. I can talk about cricket all day, so it's good for me too. So we're probably going to do a promotion this year where we'll give away some signed cricket bats from the Australian national team and stuff like that.
And that's really
See
cool.
That's
what
cool.
they think about that.
I love that you keep tying all the Australia, everything to Larrikin and just kind of keeping it very authentic to Australian stuff, which we're going to get to it later. I am dying to hear about your gin adventures that I know you've got coming. But before we get to that, I have to ask this, and I know that you did this before. You said you dabbled in hemp farming. How?
Yes.
What made you? I know because you're with your family being farming out of Australia. What made you decide I'm going to try hemp farming? I need to know
because
why.
I was a stupid idiot. Yeah.
Short story.
I actually, yeah, really. When I first came back from my last deployment, I had some traumatic brain injury and some pretty bad PTSD and stuff, and I hate taking medicine like pills. So I just tried some CBD and all that sort of stuff, and it actually worked. And so I was like, well, if that worked, I'll maybe grow some of my own and do it and see what happens. So I had a CBD brand for a year or two. Called On Duty CBD, and we made THC-free CBD, so cops and military could take it, which we sold off before we started this, and so I was hemp's like a weed, right? Obviously, it's what,
Yeah,
it's a bitch to grow. It's really, really, really awful to dig up, and it stinks. So that only lasted a season.
I still found it funny when I was listening to one of your interviews and I heard that. I'm like, I need to know more about how that was part of your transition to the whiskey, the bourbon, the liquor industry. It's quite funny because you had like you said, your family going back to Australia, family with the wine industry, like were farmers there, had a farm there, right? Did they make the wine or they just farmed the grapes there? Like what were they involved with it there?
Both. So primarily growing the grapes, but they have a small local brand kind of deal. But been around that sort of making of wine and making of booze for since I was a little kid. So
is there a lot of similarities or between like the wine and whiskey? Or is it very different?
No, funnily enough, the fundamentals are they're different obviously, but the fundamentals are pretty close. And I always I say to people all the time, it's like if I'm making wine, a vat of wine, let's say, and a bit of bacteria gets into that vat, you're screwed. I could have a seagull land in a vat of my bourbon up the back here, and once the all the meat had melted away, you just got to scoop the beak out and you're fine. It's not going to make any difference. So it's easier from that perspective.
The higher proof.
That's fair.
Just melts.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
You said melt.
Yeah, when they fly into the American light whiskey vat, it's all over, baby.
Yeah, they'll melt the quickest there.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's going to melt them on contact, like dropping them.
My goodness.
Yeah, so it really actually there's probably not even going to be a beak left at that point.
Wow, that's crazy.
So you guys jump in, ask questions, whatever. But getting into Larrikin, how you got into Larrikin? Well, Lawrenceburg first. You started Lawrenceburg, or did you? That was originally the name that you started.
Yes.
And so the story was, we talked about it before, is that you started it behind Katie's back when she was away.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly 100% true. So this is a Lawrenceburg bottle. It's sort of a bit shiny, but
I've only seen one on video.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, we were Lawrenceburg for about a year and a bit, and we were releasing at the time 4 and 5 year old bourbons. This guy was a 4-year-old, I think, and it got 94 points at the American Distilling Institute and 90. I'm just reading the sticker on the side. 95 points at the Heartland Whiskey Competition. It was great whiskey for a 4-year-old, and now this same whiskey is now turning 7, 8, 9, and it's, as you imagine, better. So, so we started as Lawrenceburg. The problem was, it's not a problem really. Lawrenceburg's like a very storied town insofar as bourbon industry goes. You know, we are literally, our distillery here at Larrikin is next door to Wild Turkey. So it's probably 500 yards up the street from here. If anyone in Kentucky walked, you could walk there in probably 7 minutes. 6 minutes. But no one has ever walked anywhere in Kentucky.
You saying it's not a walkable state?
Are you sure?
I'm sure it is, like like if you go up to the Cumberland Gap and stuff like that, I'm sure you can. But put it this way, in Lawrenceburg, I've never seen anyone walk further than the Mexican restaurant from the parking lot. So, so people don't walk here. So we have had a couple of drunk people walk from Wild Turkey once or twice, and we just put them back in. And they're like, oh, can you call us an Uber? And I'm like, we're in the middle of Lawrenceburg, right? There's not even a taxi. And they're like, oh.
It's funny you said, because when we were down at the KBF where I originally met you, it was my first time in Kentucky, and we drove there. We had a car.
Oh, really?
It was the first time, and my wife said, we're already going back, because she's like, I'm still dying to see you in that kangaroo outfit. So that needs to be there.
I was going to bring that up. It's already ordered, the new one, and it's a proper one, and it's made of material. It's like a real one.
I'm sorry.
People might shoot it. I might think you're a real kangaroo.
Hopefully they have the chicken cock chicken again, because I am riding that thing in the Larrikin costume. That is going to happen.
I would pay to see that.
Dude, that would be epic.
That is definitely going to happen. I still, but it's one thing we noticed was when we were trying to get around, they didn't, like, Uber wasn't a thing. You called taxis, local taxis. So I did notice one of the hardest thing to do was, it's weird because of how spaced everything is. Distillery is, you basically book tours. It's not, you can't just be like, oh, can I get an Uber? Can I get this? And go around. It's not as easy as just popping up your phone in some places and doing that, which was the hardest thing for us to kind of like navigate when we were there. Because we're like, okay, neither of us are driving. What are we going to do? Started calling taxi companies, trying to see when we get around. It's definitely
people don't get that. Yeah, it's and people will be like, oh, we're leaving Larrikin and we're going to Maker's Mark, and I'm like, that's like an hour and a bit away from here, right? And they're like, oh, is it? Because we were going to come back to Four Roses after that. I was like, well, Four Roses is like 5 minutes that way, and Maker's Mark is an hour and a half that way.
And they're go like, there and come back.
That's one thing. So you really got to plan your trips.
That's why I guess there's so much money in the tours.
Right. You're exactly right. And, that's one thing that, we're really fortunate here. We've got, Wild Turkey's next door. Four Roses is 5 or 8, 10 minutes up the street. My farm is right by Four Roses. And then, Woodford is 15 minutes away. Buffalo Trace is 20 minutes away, 25 minutes away, J. Mattingly, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's another couple of distilleries that we just found out about in the last little bit that are opening literally within, a one wood of here. So, that's pretty exciting for us. And it'll be one of those things where people will be able to come, get an Airbnb, because there's no decent hotels here either. So go and get an Airbnb, and literally you can spend 2 days going to 8 distilleries within a 30-minute drive.
Not walking.
So and that's like one thing was when I got to Kentucky, I was not able to get to Lawrenceburg just with the short time I had, but I was looking at it like you can easily do at the time 1 full day there. And I was like almost 2 if you really want to take your time. And now that there's more opening, that's going to be good for everyone in the area.
Fantastic for us, obviously.
When are you building the hotel that's attached to Larrikin that people can just stay at?
Oh gosh, I would funnily enough love to do that.
It'd be an interesting choice.
They have that, what is it called? Harvest Host, where people can come and pull their RV up and park it in your parking lot for free.
Mm-hmm.
We've been thinking we've got 30 acres behind the distillery, so we've been thinking of opening it up for that and let people just come and stay in their RVs.
That's an interesting idea.
Honestly, as someone that used to RV, 10 out of 10 would do that because it's so much nicer to be able to go to a place like that versus like trying to get into a campground, dealing with all those other people. If I can go park my RV at a distillery, sign me up. That's a much better fun time.
Well, then they're all coming to back to your distillery for a nightcap and a cigar at the end of the day anyway. So it's kind of
right. Oh, exactly. And Chris, I can tell you're an RV guy.
Used to be. I sold.
You just look like RV. You look like Mr. RV to me.
I mean, I did live in one for a little while. In all fairness,
does give off RV vibes.
I lived in my car for a while.
Yeah. See, we've been there.
That's life. You got to experience those things in life to appreciate the rest of the stuff in life, really.
Indeed.
What,
Indeed.
JB, you were asking about the juice from Lawrenceburg to Larrikin. What were you asking about that?
Yeah, so when I got these, I was like 8-year bottle and bond. That's crazy. Where did the juice come from? Like, how did you get this old of a juice, and where did the Lawrenceburg distilling juice go?
Yeah, good. That's a good question. One we get asked a lot. So, just dealing with at Larrikin, we sort of have a blended right now approach to our product. So we have, we're on the bourbon trail, so we distill ourselves. We're a distilling, producing distillery. We contract distilled some product back in the day, which is now coming to fruition, and in a couple of instances, we sourced like our 10-year-old Decade Rye that you guys probably tried, which was 100% rye from Canada. It was fan-freaking-tastic. That was obviously sourced. We saw something else. I can't remember what it was. But, we sourced the small batch when we first bought that out because we didn't have anything old enough. And but, I've been sort of distilling off and on for and then this guy was actually distilled. It was distilled in Frankfurt.
Okay.
It's delicious, by the way. Thank you.
It's really good.
This is my favorite. The bottled in bond is my go-to everyday drink. Like people always say to me, "Oh yeah,
this is one of my top 4 or 5 I've ever had." I am obsessed. I don't want to drink through this. This is the select from the Bourbon Festival.
Oh yeah, that was freaking great barrel.
This is so good. I'm having I don't want to plow through it because I know it's a select, but that's hands down one of the best bourbons I've ever had.
Thank you. That's awesome. The thing with so you've got the purple label, the single barrels. What's going to happen, particularly now we're into more states like New York, and I was just in Indiana launching us in Indiana this week, which is going to be fantastic for us. We're very excited about it. But, it's going to put some strain on our, stocks that are good enough for single barrel, which is probably 1 in 15 to 20, barrels. So they're not everyday barrels, right?
Right.
And so our challenge now, when we're in 2 states, that was fine. We could send them to Wisconsin, send them to Kentucky, and then Tennessee, and we'd be all, happy as clams. But now, you've got Florida, New York, California, blah, blah, blah. So what I think we're going to do sometime this year is our single barrel, the purple labels, will become more of a single barrel, private barrel pick product. Like you'll still be able to get it pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
We'll obviously always have it at the distillery, and we will always produce stuff for the smaller mum and pop shops. But I think we'll have to go down the path of our single barrels will become a little bit harder to get. And I'm not trying to be the allocated wanker guy.
Well, you don't want to lose the quality of it either, though, too.
For sure.
Correct. I say to the guys here almost every day, we're as good as our last single barrel. And that's truth. And if we start putting out shit single barrels, if we start putting out shit single barrels, people will know about it pretty quick.
Very quick. Because I've helped with a couple like single barrels locally where they send samples to the store. And it seems like some of these companies, bigger ones, have sent like just a junk barrel on purpose just to see if they're trying to see if we know what we're doing. Yeah. One, if they can move it and these people have like a terrible palate, or if we do have a good palate, and then those stores get more. So I can see where you're coming from with that. Like, you don't want to be putting out bad single barrels by any means.
We did a single barrel pick in Indiana 2 days ago, and I bought in like 10 different. I bought in American Light and our single barrel bourbon, and they had 10 people in there. It was in the back shed, but it was a blah. We had a great time. Anyhow, they were all arguing about which barrels to pick out of the 10. They ended up taking 3 barrels in one hit.
That's good when they can't decide. That helps you.
Right? That's a good problem.
They said it was the hardest. Yeah, they said it was the hardest they've ever had to argue to try and get it down. To decide, 10. I think we probably had 12 when they got it down to 3. Damn. And there was only 2 that I would have not been happy to put in a single barrel here.
Greg, your single barrel is fantastic. I actually, when I first got this, everybody kind of just was raving over it in our group we have, and I sent it to 4 or 5 guys in a complete blind, and this beat some major things, and everybody's like, where can I get my hands on it?
You can tell me who it beat.
It beat Bardstown Disco 11. It beat
That's a good one to beat.
It beat straight from
That's
the
a good
barrel
whiskey too. I like that.
It beat what's the one out in California? A Haystack Needle from what's the California company?
Redwood Empire.
Yep, Redwood. It beat them. It won in 3 different people's blinds with me, so it killed it.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah.
The amount of flavor in that single barrel is a lot to me.
Yeah, this was, I don't know, it doesn't have a barrel number on it, but 120.12 proof, 8 year. It has a C11.
Yeah, if that was the that was C11. Yeah, so I just cracked a Delta 5, and this one's 105. I just thought I'd crack it to be to be in the mix with you guys.
This is what I'm moving on to. I'm upset. Yeah, this stuff I can't get over. This. What? So you said if you're moving to the other states, New York and stuff, are you having like a certain few that you're going to continuously keep there? Like you said, you're obviously not. These are going to be more your picks. Like, what do you plan on mass distributing?
Main shelfers,
shelving in those areas. Do you have like
yeah, that's a really good question that I don't have a really good answer for yet. You know, we just moved into Illinois, Chicago, obviously primarily, and you know, we've been doing this for a couple of years, and they said, "Oh, we'll send you the first PO purchase order," and we get this purchase order, and I'm like, "Holy shite!" Anyone that I've ever met in Kentucky, I called and was like, "Can you come and help us bottle some barrels, please?" And because we had a deadline to get it done, and we got it done, but it was a whole different. You know, when you're talking about Chicago and New York and Orlando and
a lot more per capita,
San Diego.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just and for a little company like us, it's like, holy guacamole, that's kind of what we sold, 2 years ago in total.
But it's also awesome just to
PO
see, it's just as cool to see how your brand's expanding and everybody's starting to see it more, The social media has to help too.
100% does. And, Grace, who, you guys have all dealt with, is basically now our full-time social media person because it's that important to us. And, when we rebranded, I don't know if you guys remember at Kentucky Bourbon Festival 2 years ago.
When you got the Kangaroo Band?
Thing. We got the Kangaroo Band. Yeah. I hope Stacey and Randy are watching this podcast because we're going to free Larry next year and we're just going to bring him and put him up and we'll see what happens.
What was the main reason why they were like, because that thing, it was a big blow up. So what were they just like, it took up too much space or did it start smacking people?
No, someone would have bitched about it. One of my friendly competitors would have, gone crying to mom.
Some friendly
about
competition.
Crying to mom, yeah. They've got one. Why can't we have one?
So then, you see every stand's got a big blow up. But you got to put a little fan in the back, and we'll wear that around.
Well, that's sort of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of putting the Kangaroo on the roof of our tent.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So it doesn't take up any space.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Can't complain about that.
You can see it from far away because you know what it is.
Right. And then like everyone will cry about it and might get like all, get the cops to come and everything. And so that would become a whole thing. You guys would have like content for ages with that.
The publicity. Like it's
Love
not
that.
bad.
I'm just saying, if I was one of your competitors next to you and you had that on your roof, I'd be like, keep it there because everyone's going to be like, go to the Kangaroo. And then they're going to have to walk by you at the same time.
We're next to the Kangaroo.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're pretty pumped about it. And when we talk about the gin, I'll give you a little nugget concerning inflatables. We love inflatables. We love neons and inflatables. They're our two things.
Greg, you're a little kid at heart, and I love it.
Yep.
Just a little kid at heart.
Yep.
I was going to ask
I
you
like it being dark. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to ask you about
inflatables too. We got them all out front right now.
I don't have any. I can't. It's windy where I'm at. So like anytime our neighbors, I have a 3-year-old, so she constantly goes out front and starts crying because she sees like their inflatable minion is down. She cries because it's hurt. I'm like, I am not putting those in the front yard. Just opening up this can of worms. It's a little bit too
you
windy.
Need to pellet gun that shit.
I'm not going to say that I did or didn't drive by BB guns to inflatables when I was in high school. Not going to say if I did or didn't do that.
No.
Pleading the fifth.
Well,
don't
incriminate yourself.
Inflatables are a bit like, how shall I put it nicely? Because I know you've got inflatables, JB. But
I
they're
don't
a bit like,
put it nicely.
they're a bit Walmart.
There you go. I mean, Hunter Walmart.
If you're going to put up decorations, put up decorations. Don't just plug the bloody thing in.
We have the old Williamsburg
bit of effort
style
into
here. We do the old Williamsburg style.
Yeah.
There's no inflatables. There's no,
So good.
outside lights. Nah.
Yeah,
Man,
that's what we
so
do
good.
too. We just don't do shit. My tree's like this big and it sits on the mantelpiece, and that's
Call it a day. Love it.
We don't do outside. I can't because my wife yells every time I get on a ladder. I'm like, I work construction. You get mad at me for trying to hang lights. Although she did give me permission to get very obscure because we see all these people do these little skeletons. I saw stuff online and I'm gonna break it down. So she didn't say no. We have like 2 tall pillars when you come in the front of our house. I'm going to strap a couple skeletons to that and then stand a couple in the front yard looking at it, holding up dollar bills. So it looks like over Halloween.
Yes.
And she gave me the go ahead for that. So that is my.
I think you should
Todd's
leave that
looking
up all
forward to
year.
October already.
What was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I think that's an all-year thing. Don't take it down.
Yeah,
I'll put a Santa hat on him. Then I'll put like a basket of
Yeah.
Easter eggs.
Some lights around the neck or
Correct.
something.
That's what you do.
and then Valentine's Day is
Orange
coming up. Give him
lights.
like a Cupid arrow. You could just keep rolling with it.
Yeah.
year-round front porch skeleton strippers. That's what we got here.
That's
I
the way
like
to do it.
I like it.
I was gonna ask you about KBF later, but since we're on the topic, so I met you last year. Was your second year there? How's that been for? Or third year?
Maybe it was third year.
How's that been? Has that been good for growth and branding and everything for you?
You know, I've said this to Randy and Stacey, the two main organisers of it there, that, in our first year when we were Lawrenceburg, we were a late inclusion. Pardon me. Someone pulled out at the last minute and I'd called up to see if we could go, not knowing anything about it. And we were a late inclusion and really, and I'm not exaggerating here, that little cash influx from selling it at Bourbon Fest kept the lights on.
Oh, really?
So
Wow,
it got us
okay.
over a little hump, yeah. And it wasn't a shit ton of money, but it allowed us to pay off a couple of credit cards and, get back on an even keel. And it's been wildly important for us. That's why we chose to relaunch when we did Larrikin. We did it at KBF.
Oh, that's right. So when you
we launched-
changed, that was when you first announced Larrikin was at the KBF.
And that's the
Yep.
same year
So-
that Kangaroo got banned, right? That Larry got banned.
Kangaroo got banned last year.
Oh, last year.
Larry.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was up the first
You can
year.
blame Todd. You can blame Todd. It's okay.
I didn't wear the costume
know.
yet. I'm going to.
I know. I
Yeah.
feel like the
Well,
three of us
wait
need to
till you-
go. I feel like the three of us need to go and just walk around with the costume next year.
I could get 3 kangaroos.
As
I
long
mean,
as
I
we
would-
can do
I
a
would
pick
do
while
that.
we're there, Greg, I'm in. Let's do it.
Oh, I don't even care about the pick.
Okay,
I mean,
I'll do the koala
sign me
bear.
up for that, but like,
You'll be
I
the
just want to
koala
walk
bear.
around there. I just want to annoy people walking around in a
Yeah.
kangaroo costume.
And The
So
KBF is
Oh, yeah.
quite the
It'll
experience.
be
And,
hot as balls.
we got lucky last
I live in
year.
South Carolina. That's fine. I'm the southern
Oh,
state
yeah,
of the
you'll be
guys.
fine.
Yeah, I'm all right.
We got lucky with weather this past year at KBF. It was pretty mild, which was nice. But that was
It
a really
was good.
It was a
And
really cool event. It's good. Like me being in PA and being a state controlled
State-controlled
liquor-
state.
Yeah, a control state.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
hard what we get, and even the big name brands, we only get limited of that too. So Angry Mac, who I know you've met before, I think he
Yeah.
had sent me a sample of the rose water to try. That was the first because I've heard so much about Larrikin but never get it. Then he sent me a sample. I'm like, I really like that. I love the story behind the rose water, the tea, and everything.
yeah.
And it made me really want it because for me going down there, it introduced me to your brands as well as a lot of craft brands where people from our states, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and some of those don't get that opportunity. So and now I'm
Yep.
buying stuff online that I wouldn't have. I'm planning on once you launch your
Because
gin
you know
line,
it
I'm planning
now.
to come
Right.
down and take that out because
Yep.
I do like gin. So
Well, hold on real quick. Same with the Carolinas. Like I talk about it all the time in my area and people are like, oh, well, we don't know because we're a control state as well. And it's just, it kind of sucks because like, unless I can.
Oh, you are? I didn't know that.
Yeah. South Carolina, really North Carolina. They are state controlled for pricing everything, all ABC stores. South Carolina.
Wow.
I really want y'all to come to the Carolinas, please. Like find a way to get to the Carolinas. I don't know many distributors because it's control state. But yeah, I tell people about
Yeah.
Larrikin and they're kind of like, they're like, what? And I give them a sample, of the cigar blend or whatever. And they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Why have I not heard of them? And I'm like, because you can't find them on the shelf.
the juice is good.
Yep.
You can't,
We don't
you can't
get-
deny it's good.
We don't get a lot of craft in Maryland, regardless of what it is. So it's, even though we're not controlled, it's just in my area at least, maybe closer to DC a little bit, but in Upper Maryland, we just don't get it.
So
Now,
Well, and that goes back to that point of why it worked in Wisconsin, why Larrikin's worked in Wisconsin, because they don't get a lot of good craft up there either. And there's some really freaking great craft distilleries, certainly here in Kentucky, but in, Indiana and stuff like that, like Circle City up in Indianapolis. And there's just some Hartfield here, and, they're little distilleries, but they make great whiskey. And people get to see it for the first time at KBF.
We did an episode on that, like craft versus like your mainstream. And me personally, and I think these two too, like we enjoy the craft because craft seems to take a little more liberties. And when they do like certain tweaks to the barrel, like your maple
blends
isn't overly sweet. The way you use the Amburana in the cigar blend is great because it's not overpowering. So there's so many.
I hate Amburana to the core of my being.
Same. I hated
yours worked.
Yes, because the Amburana in the cigar blend, it worked really well. And I have another Amburana from a distillery 20 minutes down the road from my house that is absolutely phenomenal. All the other ones, and I'll say the name on here, Penelope Rio, hate it.
Too much.
Absolutely hate it. Like I can't do it. But when I tried the cigar blend that y'all sent me, I was like, oh my God, this Amburana it fits it perfectly because of all the other stuff that's involved with the blend. And I think that's what I like about craft is y'all are able to kind of do that stuff a little bit differently.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Chris, so when we built that cigar blend, that took us a long time. Like that's got 5 different finished barrels in it and all that sort of stuff. And so because we're starting to grow and stuff, I've had to bring on a lead distiller. She joined us about 6 months ago. Barb McDonald, formerly of Law's Whiskey House in Colorado. Anyhow, we're tasting the cigar blend when we're first making it, batching it. And I'm like, it's missing something. And she's going, it's missing Amburana. I'm like, there is no fucking way you're putting Amburana in my whiskey. Anyhow, she did without telling me, and I tried it. I was like, yeah, I could smell it. I'm like, you put Amburana? Yeah, I have. But it worked. And it's not very much. It's like, no, it's a sniff of it, but it did exactly what it needed to do. And, we had a couple of versions when we were playing around with it. And if it was like literally 1 milliliter drop of Amburana whiskey too much, I'd like get a gag reflex. But where we got to was right. And she was right. She was 100% right.
Yeah,
she's much smarter than I am.
It did add like just the perfect amount that you could looking for. But I could see exactly what you were saying. 1 mil too much, game over. That batch is toast. Like I can see
the funny thing, the cigar blend has I don't have a cigar blend here, but on the nose, it's a lot more Amburana forward than the actual palate is. And I don't know why that is, but well, I do because Amburana stinks. And so
yeah,
it was really, it's really in your face on the nose, but it's certainly not on the palate.
No, it's a little bit at the end, and there's only one other Amburana I've liked, Greg, and it was Dark Arts Amburana Rye, and it's because the rye kind of cut out that sweetness. But I do have a question about the cigar blend and the whole package.
Yep.
Go ahead, finish.
No, I was going to say the Dark Arts guys make some great blends, and Macaulay did that one really well.
They did. The rye kind of cut out the sweetnesses. That's the only one I've liked, but besides yours. Where did the cigar come from? Did you guys, where did that kind of come, whose idea was that, and where did it, where did they actually roll it or
just, again, with being a little distillery like us, we can sort of sit around at our staff meeting, whatever you want to call it, on Monday mornings or Tuesday mornings, whenever we do it. And we can throw things around and, we just come up with stuff. It's like with our decade that we had, which is all gone now, we had another 10 barrels of it. And I was like, well, it's a new year. What should we do? And we also happen to have 4 huge empty cognac barrels, which had just been given off the back of a truck. And I was like, well, screw it. Let's just tip it in there and see what happens. And so that's what we did. And thank God it worked, because it would have been pretty bad if it hadn't.
I mean, yeah, seems risky.
That's what we do. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, as the cigar guy, I
I've
love
got
the
seagulls in
with
some
the
of my
cigar.
whiskey.
That's going to be a
JB,
clip. That's going to be a clip.
Yeah, the other thing is, JB, is we've got the only walk-in cigar humidor on the Bourbon Trail.
I was going to ask that, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We just finished our cigar lounge.
Okay.
So when am I coming back to
So
Kentucky?
this was
We
like
have an indoor cigar lounge.
That's awesome.
I'm driving down to Lawrenceburg to visit them in March. I was going to say that because I want to come down and check out the distillery.
Awesome.
I'm planning a weekend.
I think I'm doing my hair that day.
Could I fly in? Yeah, you can do your hair.
Todd's wife's a barber, hairstylist, so you're fine.
I'll bring her.
You're fine. You're good.
Perfect.
There you go.
Shit. Okay. I'm doing my sock drawer.
He has a cricket match.
I got a
Get
lot
your
of shit
shoes
going on.
shine. Get your shoe. My grandfather always says, "Get your shoes shine." I can't.
I'm
I can't
practicing
make
my
it.
cricket.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've done like with everything you guys do to like you keep adding your distillery to make it more than just pop in, taste some bourbon and go type of thing, or whiskey, which I like. Well, I wanted to ask you, so you brought on Barb about a year and a half-ish ago?
No,
2 years?
probably. I said 6 months. It's probably 10 months ago. Yeah, nearly a year.
So about that, I remember you brought on kids, and
it is a year.
And that was because you guys have gotten bigger and bigger. And I was going to actually, it's funny you brought her up because I was going to ask you how that's been, because I think in another interview I heard you say that you like the blending, you like the tasting. It gives you a little more freedom to travel, do that, and let her distill. Has that been working as you expected? Has it helped out?
Better. It's
better than expected.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, when I started this, I didn't know shit from shinola, and I still pretty much don't. And so when I just make whiskey to my palate. I genuinely can't tell you. It's got hints of vanilla. It's got saddle leather that's been, rubbed on a dog's butt. I can't tell you any of that because I probably should, but I don't care about it. If I like the whiskey, I'm going to put it in the bottle.
I mean, your palate's been pretty spot on thus far. So
I'm on the same path as you. I'm on the same path.
And at the same time, I read some of these.
Had in a saddle.
Yeah, neither have I. But the thing is, I read stuff like that, and I'm like, where the hell did you get this flavor note from? Like, what?
I don't know. It's either out of a squeezy bottle or they just made it up.
Do you get to do more tasting, more blending? Do you get because you said that's the part that you really like about the distilling, about the owning the distillery.
Yes. So I'm doing much, much, much less of the what do you call it? The actual day-to-day distilling,
hands-on
part. The hands-on, and I enjoy that too. But Barb is like a chemist, and she knows exactly down to the milliliter of what's meant to go in here and how much of this. Whereas I just used to pour stuff in and taste it and see if I liked it. So that's how it worked. And poor old Barb, when she got here, I literally gave her like jars of stuff and said, "Okay, this is the bottled in bond. It's got to taste like this, and it's got these 3 things in it, but I'm not really sure how much." And she's like, "Okay." And then, honest to God, I'm not making that up. That's how it was. Yeah. And then when we did the cigar blend, we worked on that together. And she was like measuring stuff. I'm like, for the love of God, Barb, just put it in the bloody tank and see what happens. And she just looked at me like I was a crack addict and was like, no.
She went from super conventional to you just like, make it work. It tastes good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's super duper smart, but it's been great for us also because it's put systems in place and it's put, we actually have recipes written down now.
So you say good for us, you mean good for you? Controls you.
Yeah, good for the distillery. Yeah, because if I get hit by a bus, touch wood tomorrow, they'll be able to keep making it. Yeah, she's been a great addition to our little team. Yep, really.
Was
good.
this
and she's from Lawrenceburg originally.
Was this part of her idea?
No, that was mine, believe it or not.
Awesome. Okay.
You said she's from Lawrenceburg originally, right?
Yeah, her parents still live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
she
awesome.
couldn't get out of here fast enough, so...
and then you brought her back.
Yeah, and now here she is, coming back.
Pretty
the
much.
Maverick
She's
brought
like,
her back.
curses me every day she comes in. But yeah, the American light whiskey, that was we only bought that out, about 4 months ago.
Late fall,
and
late fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
when
a
was it?
tasty
Late fall,
143.
Well, dude, we did barrel picks of that in Indiana this week on Wednesday, and they were all over 150.
Oh my God.
So, and they were the same. You couldn't tell the difference between the 143 and the 150. We had one that was 154 or 155.
I'm not a huge ALW fan. Like I've gotten more into it, and this actually just has so much more flavor as compared to most of them. They're just it's just one flavor note. It's just, that's what it is. There's so much citrus.
Well, this isn't all corn, right? Yeah. So mainly you'll get a American light and it'll be 99% corn and 1% malted barley or whatever.
Right.
Whereas this is 85% corn. And I think that makes a big ass difference. And
I agree.
But this wasn't the plan with this, right? This was just going to be a blender, a topper upper, play around with the thing. And we cracked, I was sitting, I do tastings at the bar when the distilleries open, I just have bottles and shit everywhere. And I was like, I want to try that light whiskey because it might go with this other thing. Anyhow, so I was pinged up to the Rick house. And I said, pull me a light whiskey, will you? And he did, and it came down. And anyhow, I drank it, and I'm like, this isn't light whiskey. So I got Mike to come back. I said, dude, the light whiskey, I'm like really fucking important. Bring the right stuff, right? Anyhow, he just looks at me like I'm an idiot again. This is a recurring theme. And he goes, Greg, it is light whiskey. And of course, I didn't believe him, being a control freak. So I go up the back, and he shows me, of course, it was light whiskey. So we cracked another 3 or 4, and they were all great. And that was when we just literally, Mike and I, our production guy and I were just there, and we're like, well, fuck it. Let's put it in a single barrel and see how it goes. And and it was in response, the folks in Wisconsin wanted hazmats because, we released maybe 2 barrels.
I saw that in the Bruzel
of
video.
Deep
There was
Purple.
like 4 hazmats in 4 different stores. It was crazy.
Yeah. And Wisconsin took all of them. There was 4 barrels last year, and they took all of them.
That's crazy.
And but now we do these American Lights as single barrels, and people couldn't believe the high proof, the 150 plus proof, drank like it did. I think the higher proofs were actually better than the one. I think yours is one you guys got sent was probably 143, 144.
Yeah,
143.6.
143.6, yeah. So
you're saying we got to order another one.
Yeah, so it sounds like I need to source a 150 plus proof before my friend leaves Wisconsin.
I'll see if I've got some lying around, and I'll send you 3 guys a 375 of it.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah,
That'd
I'd
be
love
awesome.
it. And to do it side by side of that 143 would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to take a photo so I remember. There we go.
Because I'm
So now I'll
not a
remember to send
huge
it.
hazmat fan, but yours drank really well.
I'm not either.
I'm not a proof guy. I'm a taste guy. I
I'm
don't
not. Me
need
too.
to
I
look
was
and see what
expecting
the
this
proof
to knock my
is.
socks off too, like kill me. Just the palate's gone. It doesn't.
Well, even the single barrel at 124, 123. Still, I'm drinking it like a daily drinker, right around 100. It's got so much flavor. Like I don't look at proof. I look at taste, and that's one of the things when they got it, and everything I saw, then I got that. I took a sip of it. I was like, yeah, I could have a few of these and then make bad choices and wake up on the sofa in the morning.
Can confirm that has happened.
Yes,
been there, done that.
But that's that's the thing, right? The I'm not a proof guy at all. Like my sweet spot is 100 to maybe 105, 110.
That's about where I'm at.
Is what I really enjoy, and that's why I like Turkey 101. It's why I like our small bag, our bottled in bond and things like that. When I go out to a bar, I drink Wild Turkey 101 because they don't ever have our shit. So I've got to drink something. And there's all the stuff on the bar, and I drink Turkey 101 because to me, that's what bourbon should taste like at its base level, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the archetypal kind of bourbon to me, like the 100 proof, the blah, blah, blah. And so what I did with our bottled in bond was I wanted to create my 101, what I think bourbon should be. And it's not anything like Wild Turkey 101, but it's my Wild Turkey 101, if that makes sense. I made it for how I liked it, and if anyone did want to drink it, well, I'd drink it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to we're gonna have to add that bottle. I'm gonna have to put an order in and add that bottle to
right. Because like personally, I'm a 115 to like 124
That's
person.
a good pour.
But I like the higher proofs. But when I'm not in the mood for the higher proof, I will still go to a higher proof and add like a little bit of water and just experiment with proofing it down ever so slightly. Like
well, Chris, that's because you're an RV guy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a league of its own. I'm a weird.
Would you
dude.
believe me if I said he has a boat too?
No,
he traded
now.
he swapped. He swapped.
Yeah, I swapped.
Oh, is it a pontoon? Tell me it's a pontoon.
Well, Lord, no, absolutely not. I hate pontoons with my being.
You've got one of those sunglass holders though, don't you? Like around your neck.
Nope. I hate those too.
Yes, you do. You live in South Carolina. You definitely have one.
I will admit I used
on
to.
your bloody polo shirt.
I hate the polo shirt.
Tucks it under the collar for fancy events.
I hate polo shirts.
You pop up your watermelon colored polo shirt. You've got your froggy thing with your sunglasses hanging down here.
I don't live in Charleston.
That's what you would have.
I'm not a Charleston guy.
On your fucking pontoon.
We are not
pontoons. Around on your pontoon.
We're center consoles. We're just shy of pontoons, I guess.
Man, if you need a good laugh, talk to Greg.
So it's a pontoon. It's like people that don't want to buy a minivan So they buy a Ford Explorer and say,
It's the same thing with
it's
the
not my
extra
minivan.
row.
It's
yeah,
the
with like
same
the
thing.
third row of the back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the extra row.
yeah. Oh god, I hate Ford
So
Explorers.
that's exactly what you
Ford.
are. You're
Oh,
the
God.
pontoon guy, Ford Explorer.
But I hate pontoons with a passion.
I do look at Chris, and I do think it would have been a pontoon with
No,
like
it's not a pontoon.
at
Oh, for
least
sure.
3
I
or
can
4
fucking just
coolers.
I hate pontoons.
He's
The
probably
pon-
like put fake panels on the side so it doesn't look like
every time when we're on the water, we go by a pontoon. I'm like, goddamn fucking party barge. What are they doing?
Is that a jealousy comment?
Well,
I just
think
hate
it
them.
is.
Because they're the jet skis that have more people on them.
Greg, you see
I
what you started?
don't think he hates them. I think he secretly wants one.
I've rented a couple because I didn't own a boat at the time. I rent what I can buy or what I can
Oh,
afford.
God.
I like
You drove
pontoons
your-
because my
you drove your
3-year-old can steer it.
Explorer.
See,
Oh, yeah, that's
you're a
why Chris
pontoon
likes it.
guy. You're a pontoon guy now. Oh, my 3-year-old can steer it. I'm a
Yeah.
pontoon guy.
Because when I start to drink, I don't have. I'm not driving a boat. Not one that I have to think about.
I would say, unless I spend $300,000, pontoons are too slow.
All right, I got it. Before we can't end this before I get into this topic. So, the future of Larrikin. You're a gin guy, and I've heard this, and I love it about
Yes.
what you're saying because I've heard some of this. These guys haven't heard what I've heard about what your goal is. I like gin, but I hate licking Christmas trees. So
Oh, my God.
I
wonder
know
which way
you
you're gonna go with that.
agree, and you want to bring a lot of gin into Larrikin's future. Am I right with that?
Yes, sir. So
Tell us about that. 'cause I'm excited.
that was the biggest softball ever. So I don't even know if I've got a bottle of it here, but yeah. So right now we have a gin brand called Fat Wombat. Actually, you're the first people who ever hear this. So outside of here, so Fat Wombat is our gin brand. It's really good. I love gin. You know, been around making gin since I was a kid, bootleg gin at least. You know, I just love gin because I can go up there, you can fart around with all different things and stuff, and you can drink it that afternoon, literally. And it's an open sort of palate that you can do whatever you want. So I too hate eating a Christmas tree when I'm drinking gin because, you know, I don't sort of say this lightly, you know, Americans make shit gin. Let's be frank.
a lot of it tastes
So,
a lot
yeah.
so earthy, so like piney.
It's so green and piney, and there's some great craft gins out there, but the mainstream gins in America are pine trees and resin and whatever. So
No, that's true.
the gin
That's
where
facts.
it's you know, but there's some great craft gin. That's what people should be drinking. if
That's
they
the
can
only
find it.
that's the only gin that I have in the house is all craft because it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. There's some really good craft gins out there. And a lot of it's, you know, from, you know, Colorado, but there's stuff all over the place. New York has great gins and stuff. But the premise behind our new gins, so we're going to launch a gin house this year. So I can't tell you the name yet, but it'll be a full on, like it'll be its own standalone distillery, everything, making gin. But we're making gin in the modern Australian style of gin making,
Oh,
which is a
okay.
thing apparently. But it fundamentally means you use as little juniper as you're allowed to still call it gin. And you use very little coriander. And then all of your botanicals, obviously you use juniper because you have to have juniper as your backbone, but it doesn't taste like juniper. Then all of our botanicals are all Australian botanicals, like so Geraldton wax and sea lettuce and lemon myrtle, which is not a lemon, it's a gum tree leaf, which tastes like lemon. So we'll have eucalyptus in there, Australian olive oil, all this stuff. And it's much kind of the intent or the premise of modern Australian gin is that it's very flavor forward, but it's quite subtle. And it's all sipping gin. So if you go and, you know, people in the US would know Four Pillars. And I think so here you would know, like in the US, there's it's an Australian brand called Four Pillars. They make terrific gin and they just sold out to one of the big Japanese companies last year. But there's some extraordinary gin coming out of Australia. And so we want to bring that here and give people an experience of, you know, we go to festivals and stuff and we'll bring the gin and say, you can only try our bourbon if you have a sip of gin. And they're like,
That's smart.
and then,
No, I like that.
yeah, but then they're like, this is good. So because they're expecting to get hit in the face with a Christmas tree. So, you know, by the end of this quarter, we will be launching our new gin house. I want to call it Gin Palace, but everyone's telling me I can't.
Don't listen to them.
Seems like it's a
Don't
bomb
listen
or
to them.
something.
Any
Jim
barrel
Palace.
aged gins in there, Greg? Any barrel aged stuff in there?
Yeah, we have a barrel aged gin now. It's delicious. The only problem with it is it looks like pee. So we might have to put it in a green bottle or
like
something.
a very dark bottle
Yeah.
that you can't see.
Which is funny.
No, it looks like
my
Yeah, go
favorite
ahead.
gin is in a green bottle out of North Carolina from another veteran-owned company.
Oh, really? What's that?
Brian Holling American Whiskey Co. Beehawk out of Southern Pines, North Carolina.
Oh, I haven't had. Ooh. I've heard of Beehawk. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Beehawk. Their Madam
Yeah.
Colonel gin, top notch. It's one of my favorite crafts. But I haven't tried yours yet, so you might take the reign after that.
Yeah, to try
Well,
that.
That's part of the
My,
reason I'm
guy,
coming
but-
down in March, because I'm hoping you got some more gin on the shelf by the time I get down there.
We've got, so we'll have our first 4 gins will be a classic Australian gin, which is a bit savoury, think a bit anise and that sort of stuff. Then we'll have a coastal gin, which will have things like sea lettuce and oyster shells.
That
and
I've heard
stuff
about,
in
and
it.
I am
Yes.
ridiculously excited. I'm a
Yeah, we have one.
huge fan of oysters, so
We
I
have
am
an
so
oyster
excited
shell
to
gin
try that.
now.
So being
and then we'll have
being a coastal
go.
town, that's the one I've been interested in, the oyster
Yeah,
shells.
yeah,
Like,
dang.
all the seafood around here, I'm obviously not a fan of, but I think the oyster shells really would bring a unique flavor to that gin, and I've been like super interested to try it.
What's
Honestly.
the taste the oyster shells give it?
It's brine. It brings a lot of brininess to it.
So, like,
Like
if you've ever had an oyster, if you get a briny oyster, that almost
Yes.
like that stringy, briny flavor is
Interesting.
what you get in the gin.
Stringy. That's a good word for it. Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's
Ah.
again, it's not over. The thing with Australian gin, modern Australian gin, is that no flavor is overwhelming. So you'll if you know that it's got oyster shells in it, you go, oh, that's what that is.
But if you didn't know, it's subtle. It's kind of like under the rug type of thing. So, are you going to do a
Yeah.
gin oyster shooter?
Ooh, we weren't, but that's a really good idea.
Little shot of that gin with a little oyster in it.
But honestly, Todd, would you trust an oyster in Kentucky? No.
I wouldn't.
No, that's
I
true. Because
would
I
not.
did.
Come to
I did hear.
Maryland.
I did
Come to
hear.
Maryland.
Unless I
sure.
brought it up from South Carolina.
Yeah, or come to Maryland. Yeah,
I
you should good.
did hear you
Correct.
say like the problem with you in Kentucky is sourcing the shells and getting.
Yes. Yeah.
getting
So
that.
we've been getting them from restaurants and stuff like that. But I think what we'll probably start doing is looking at Maryland as an option. We've got some, like the guys down at Old Line, they make malt, American malt.
Yeah.
They're really good dudes.
We're good friends with
And they're
Mark.
just, oh yeah, they're great
Yeah,
guys.
love Mark.
I love those guys.
Mark's actually coming on our other podcast we have, which is cool. So he's
Really?
actually he's
Oh,
one of
say hello to
our
him for me.
he's one of our insurance clients. So I've known him over the last couple of years. Yeah,
Shameless plug on the insurance.
yeah.
I'm gonna
That's how I
inquire
met
about
him.
my buddy who runs a raw like seafood house and be like, "What do you do with all your shells?" He's right there in Delaware.
Honestly,
I'll find that. I might
yeah,
message
like-
you and be like, "Hey, I find out what they are, and I'll let you know."
honestly, I could probably do the same. I
Yep,
know a
we-
few restaurant owners here in the Myrtle Beach area that might be willing to work something out.
Well, because you live in South Carolina, you probably got the shucker there, and you do the thing. You've got your
I love
froggy
that
and your
Chris has been
sunglasses,
stereotyped.
Damn,
Yeah, right,
boy.
I'm a
and
stereotype.
in the back of your
South Carolina, you're stereotyped.
Yeah. You have the fold down on the RV, so you do it outside, so your wife doesn't get you in trouble, and you
Damn, he
natty
nailed the
lights
fact that
and
I had a
stuff.
toy hauler at one point. Shit.
I feel like
Oh
he's
my God.
pointing
Chris,
out.
you
and you're
might as well
like,
just leave now. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
I'm out.
bad.
See you later.
Okay, Greg. I know
Oh, my goodness.
we're getting here to the end of the time. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was
Oh,
fun.
guys, my absolute pleasure. This has been a hoot. And because I took that photo, I will remember to send you some of the high proof
Awesome.
American light whiskey. But if you're in Indiana, anyone that's watching, if you're in Indiana, please go into your liquor stores and ask for Larrikin because we just launched there yesterday. So we really want to punch out in Indiana. It was funny. I went to a cigar bar last night, a very quick story, and I walked in and there was these 4 people sitting at the bar, and one of them turns around and he goes, "You're the Larrikin guy."
Oh,
This was
really?
at 9 o'clock in a cigar bar in a little podunk town in Indiana, like literally called Huntersville or Hunter something. And it was a great little bar. And they literally turned around. "Oh yeah, we were there. Yeah, do you remember us? We were there like last year." I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, but it's really cool, you know." It's that's where it's really
Just
cool. Like,
it's
this
cool
was
to
a
see the
little
growth.
country
I feel
town.
like for you, right? It's cool to see like
Yep.
people are starting to notice, and I had no idea
And,
until
we,
I got a message from you guys, and I was just like, this is great stuff. So,
well, thank you, JB, and as just a little upstart brand or distillery, it's really great. We've got a long way to go, and we're going to keep making mistakes, and hopefully we'll kick a few goals as well. And it's the support of you guys, Chris, Todd, JB, that and spreading the gospel, as it were, that we're able to expand out. And as I always say, we're as good as our last single barrel. And if that last single barrel's shitty, you guys will be on your shows going, yeah, I had that single barrel. It was really shitty. That Greg Keeley guy's a piece of shit and blah, 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 blah. So I can't let that happen. So I've got to give you good stuff. So there you go. That's how it works.
Keep it up.
Keep it up. I hope to see y'all move down into the Carolinas as your distribution grows. I'm excited. I know people in my area are also excited to try your stuff more often as well.
I'll see what I can do for Maryland, by the way. I'll see what I can do.
Actually, I can't come to the Carolinas. Yeah, I can't come to the Carolinas. My mother-in-law lives in North Carolina, and I can't risk bumping into her.
Okay, that's fair. No, that's fair. So could you do South Carolina at least?
No, it's too close.
It's
too risky.
Fair.
I did not see that.
When you
started
that
talking,
coming.
I did not see it going that
I did not see that
fast.
coming. Damn, because I'm like,
It's
I
just
Carolina,
altogether
live in
too
South
risky.
Carolina. I'm too close. I agree.
Yep.
It's I get it. See,
She'd
stereotypes
stiff it
again.
out.
I'm out for the second time.
Greg,
Yeah.
I know some of the people at RNDC here in Maryland, so I'll see what I can do for you. I've been
Mate,
requesting
hook us up. We'd love to.
Can't wait to
We'd love
see
to
you
talk
in
to them. We'd love to talk to anyone.
every state.
I actually have one more question for you, Lee. How did that bottle next to Todd, the high wheat rye, come about?
Yeah, because it says on your website it shouldn't have been done, but it was done.
Yeah,
I've been
I've been
wanting
looking
to-
at that
know
the
what's
whole
on the
time, and I
website,
just want,
Yeah, that's the best whiskey I think I've ever made. And we made that in Florida, in Tampa. I actually YouTubed it. It was with a distiller down there, and we didn't know really what was happening, and we YouTubed how to do it. And
I gotta go watch that video then.
No bullshit, we did. Yeah, we
I
did.
love
We
that.
had to, but the whiskey is just true. And I think part of it too is it sat in a warehouse down there for nearly 7 years, and it was hot, humid, salty. It must have had some effect on it because it wasn't air conditioned or anything. So I just love that. That's only available at the distillery now. That's
I
nowhere
like
else.
that it's
Damn,
a
I wanna
rye.
try
It's
it.
a high rye.
I needed that too.
which
I
gives
know, I
you that
needed that one.
pepper.
Damn, I can't
but
order
instead
it.
of adding honey or another sweetness, the wheat adds that sweetness at the finish. So it is literally like a sweet pepper finish. And I'm a big rye fan. This is I've bought like others flavored sweetened ryes, but this one does it without the flavor. It just gives that little like sweet kick to the pepper on it, which is crazy.
So when you guys come down, I've got a few you can see how much is left in that one. This was one of the original ones.
That's crazy.
This was our first. Oh, this was barrel 3. This was probably the best single one of these we've ever put out back in Lawrenceburg days.
Is that why
People
it's just
still talk
hanging
about
out?
Barrel
You don't
3.
want to finish it?
Yeah, just put one in the
Yeah,
corner so no one can see it, Greg.
Look at that.
I'll drink that.
I've got one last sip. Like if this all goes to shit, I'm going to sit down and have this last one.
That's like that's the apocalypse pour right there.
Yep, it is. It is. It's like the Holy Grail pour. I should have kept more of it, but I didn't because I was stupid and I needed the money. So I just sold everything.
We've all made choices for that same reason.
Yes, I mean you gotta do what you gotta
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Chris had to
Well,
buy a camper.
thank you.
do. No, I had to buy a boat.
Cheers to you, Greg.
yeah,
Thank
Mr.
you so
RV.
much.
Chris RV Wright.
God damn, why does it have a ring to it that I hate?
Yeah.
It's like it's good, but I hate it. No.
It does.
Greg,
does.
thank you so much for taking
Yeah,
time.
cheers
out of
to you,
your
Greg.
schedule
Thanks
to
so
do
much.
this for us.
Hey, boys.
Thank you for coming on. I
Cheers,
appreciate
fellas.
y'all.
Really appreciate
Cheers.
it.
Thanks so
Cheers.
much. Cheers.
See ya.